On October 1, 1938, Nazi troops marched into the Sudetenland, the German-speaking region of Czechoslovakia. Prague, the Czech capital, was flooded with desperate people trying to escape. A fortunate few were able to send their children abroad. These parents, mostly Czech Jews, sensed war was coming and wanted to get their children out. By chance, a cameraman filmed a man holding a boy, a 29-year-old Londoner. His name? Nicholas Winton. Immigration wasn't an option. The world's doors were closed to the refugees. Conditions in the camps were brutal for the 150,000 people trapped there, especially for the children. And no one focused on them until Nicholas Winton. Winton set up a small organization with one aim: to get as many kids out as fast as possible. By the time he returned to London, he had a list of hundreds of children and set out to convince British authorities to take him seriously. He did it by taking stationery from an established refugee organization, adding children's section, and making himself chairman of the children's section operated from a tiny office in central London. Winton's mother was in charge. The staff were all volunteers. During the day, Winton worked as a stockbroker. Evenings, he wrestled with the British bureaucracy. Winton had written President Roosevelt asking the US to take in more children. A minor official at the US Embassy in London wrote back, the US was unable to help. Winton agreed to accept the children, but only if Winton found families willing to take them in. So he circulated the children's pictures to advertise them. But even after a family chose a child, British authorities were slow in issuing travel documents, so Winston started having them forged. He also spread some money around. The first 20 children left Prague on March 14, 1939. The next day, German troops occupied Prague and the rest of Czechoslovakia. Hitler rode through the streets triumphant. Over the spring and summer of 1939, 7 trains carried over 600 children through the heart of Nazi Germany to Holland, where they took a ferry to the English coast. From there, they caught a train to London. An 8th train, carrying 250 more, was scheduled to leave Prague on September 1st. But that's the day the war began. 2 years after that last train, the Nazis began implementing the final solution, their plan to slaughter all the Jews of Europe. Czech Jews were rounded up and shipped to Theresienstadt, an old military garrison town about an hour north of Prague, their first stop on the road to annihilation. During the war, he volunteered for an ambulance unit for the Red Cross, then trained pilots for the Royal Air Force. He got married, raised a family, earned a comfortable living. For 50 years, he told hardly anyone what he had done. In 1988, the BBC learned about Winton's story and invited him to be part of a program. He had no idea that the people sitting around him were the people he has saved.
Can I ask, is there anyone in our audience tonight who owes their life to Nicholas Winton? If so, could you stand up, please? Mr. Winton, would you like to turn around? On behalf of all of them, thank you very much indeed.
I wore this around my neck, and this is the actual pass that we were given to come to England, and I'm another of the children that you saved.
In 1939, Nicholas Winton used 2-week vacation to go to Prague and ended up saving the lives of 669 children. Nicholas Winton passed away in 2015 at the age of 106, but his legacy lives on. He was honored with countless awards, including being named a Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire, KBE, by Queen Elizabeth II in 2003. Winton's story is a reminder that even one person, with the will to act and a deep sense of compassion, can make an incredible difference in the world. His quiet heroism saved the lives of hundreds, and he never sought the spotlight.